Wait, we forgot Gibby.
Oh yeah. Gibby!
Hello everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm sure that if you're a moviegoer, then you've definitely heard of or seen one of Disney's live-action remakes at some point. This isn't an entirely new concept either. These first started with Tim Burton's take on Alice in Wonderland, but I'd argue that the film alters its source material so much that it barely qualifies as a remake. But regardless, these things have since amped up and only gotten worse with each consecutive release. I mean, from Aladdin to The Lion King to The Little Mermaid, there's always been some kind of controversy or serious lack of effort. I mean, whether it be casting Will Smith as Robin Williams, emotionless animals, or Halle Berry not even knowing how to swim, I think it's all just a lapse in quality. There's going to be more of these, no doubt, and they're not slowing down. They're just working on remakes of Hercules and Lilo and Stitch as far as I know. But I want to take this time for us to ask ourselves, did it have to be this way? Did these remakes have to be as bad as possible? I'm not asking if they shouldn't happen at all, because there's got to be some tax write-offs and fuel for the Marvel minds, but these remakes were bound to happen at some point. So instead, I'm looking to find ways that these remakes can be better. First off, it looks like most of these remakes have been from Disney's historic back catalog, instead of some of their more recent movies. Like, I don't think that today's iPhone swiping, has sex before holding hands, jaded Zoomer populace is going to remember who Pete's Dragon is, or why Dumbo is so important. So maybe it's time to bring back some movies that had lukewarm box office receptions and make those into movies. Like, why haven't they considered touching Bolt, Meet the Robinsons, Chicken Little, or Treasure Planet? It'd be easier to breathe new life into some of the 2000s films than tatter the reputations of the older films. And that's not because the 2000s animated films are worse, it's just that they were more experimental, and typically lean better into live action than some of the other animated films from the 20th century did. And you just know that in like 10 to 20 years from now, they're not only going to do that, but adapt stuff they didn't even make originally, like Toy Story, Ice Age, and so on. By that time, all the kids of today will either be parents or have died. Mostly the latter, if you ask me, but that's when the nostalgia baiting is going to go into high gear. So my solution, therefore, would just make it so that we see less and less of these films throughout the decade and beyond, and if they don't want to lampoon their old films or breathe new life into them, then it might be better to make them as accurate as possible, because then they'll become so inconsequential that there'll be no controversy and everyone can go back to buying merchandise of the original films just like they wanted them to. Whatever, not my dead horse to beat, and certainly not what I'd be spending my money on if I was one of the executives in the boardroom. Anyway, just don't fuck up Deadpool 3. Okay, Disney?